Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell in the flesh.
You
Colin, how are you?
you forgot our intro music.
Oh Lord, it's too late, Colin. It's
Yeah,
11:30 at night. I've had a long day of
it's
watching
it's it's your
football.
thing. I don't like the music, so
We have intro music, like on the audio side, on the Apple and Spotify side.
oh,
You don't even.
I don't listen to it on there.
It's the dun 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 dun
Oh
dun.
yeah, the old one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I put that at the front of every single podcast on
I love
the
it. I
Spotify
love
and
it.
Apple.
I love it.
I just don't do it on this side. So I didn't want to confuse our audio listeners out there
Mm.
of what we were doing.
So then
But
you really annoyed them whenever you had the double music last time, triple
well, I
music.
don't well, I don't play it throughout the podcast, Colin. I only
You
put it the
played it.
first
You
5
played it.
seconds.
You played it a couple times
Yeah, but
last
it
time.
wasn't at the beginning. It wasn't at the
All
beginning.
right, all right.
How was your day?
Tired.
Tired?
Yeah, I did some yard work, pulled some
Oh,
weeds.
yard work.
Got to, having two dogs means you got to pick up double the dog poop.
Yep,
So I did that. You
man.
know,
Great
yep,
life.
yep. Just living
Great
it.
life. Just living it.
Got a whiskey Coke.
What? Why the? Why are you drinking whiskey coke? What?
Just felt right.
Felt right. When'd you start drinking?
Oh, I mean, this is I've had this drink poured for like 2 hours.
Wow, Colin's been drinking for 2 hours now, guys.
I
Let
mean,
the
it's one
record show.
drink, and it
Who
was
knows where Colin's gonna
okay.
go on this
Okay.
podcast with whiskey coke
Mm,
sipping through his body right now,
mm.
just whizzing right through it. Okay, well, we gotta get Colin while he's still rolling, while he's still coherent. North Texas, Abilene Christian
Yep.
reaction podcast. North Texas
Indeed.
wins 45-31. Jumped on ACU 24-7 out the gates. Went to half up 31-17, and kind of just rode out the win from there. I'd say wasn't overly impressive in the second half, but nothing crazy to end with a 2-touchdown win. We'll get to our pick 'em later. Where do you want to start?
I just want to start on the defense. ACU opened up and said, "Listen, we're gonna just go ahead and score this thing. 4 plays, 75 yards, and a
Oh, yeah.
less than 2 minutes." And then that's when I texted you and I was like, well, ACU's winning the game. And you go, what? Are you serious? So that concerned me at first. And then, North Texas scores 3 touchdowns and a field goal unanswered. And I don't know how much of that is due to the fact that they benched their starting quarterback.
Who
And then he
who are you
came
talking
back.
about?
Maverick Mick, how do you say his name?
MacGyver played. MacGyver played the whole game almost.
No, he didn't. He got benched after the second series.
Okay.
Third series, other guy came out. And then
Then they put him back.
Then they put him back. I don't know when they
Yeah.
put him back. But yeah, so and then they stopped him. North Texas didn't really get scored on. 10 points in the second quarter, but whatever. Toward the end of the second quarter, I should say. But it just felt like when they should have stopped them at some point, it was just like, okay, here's 14 yards or here's 20 yards or something like that. Like they get chunk plays in certain instances, and a lot of that was to the run game. What's his name? Sunday had 140 yards on 21 carries.
Yeah.
Through the air, they didn't really go crazy, 217 yards, but still the 4 touchdowns. So I don't know. It's just the defense is still really concerning to me.
Yeah, let's start negative, Colin. The defense, like you said, the big plays were worrisome. And then the running game was troublesome because Sunday they mentioned on the broadcast, what is he from, Oklahoma? Is that where he
No, he
went
transferred from Washington.
from? All, yeah. So, but they kept saying he was a top 40 running back in his class, and he looked
He looked
like
it.
he was.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's big. I was like, okay, they might have something to this, but yeah, they ran the ball very effectively. 5.2 yards per carry for Abilene Christian. Like you said, Sunday had a great game. Even with them North Texas going to a four-man front, it didn't feel like it was quite enough to get a push. The defense is incredibly concerning at this point. I did think, honestly, and even with, let me make sure I have the numbers correct here. MacGyver ended the game 19 of 36, 217 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. Honestly, outside of that first drive, I thought they actually defended fairly well. As far as coverage goes, like man to man,
Yeah.
Rich Tejada had a couple PBUs. As a secondary, they had a couple PBUs that I was fairly impressed with. So I'll give them that. Overall, though, they are with the inability to stop the run. There is a reliance on the DBs having to make some plays that I don't
Yeah.
know if they're capable of making on a consistent basis. But Tejada's good enough at times. We saw, I believe Taylor Starling started the game.
Yeah.
So it's just like maybe they're starting to figure out. Maybe the coaching staff is starting to figure out maybe what they can do and how they reach their potential, even if the potential is not very high, if that
Right.
makes sense. And that might sound bad, but like Abilene Christian 8 of 17 on third downs. Like this was a performance from Abilene Christian that was honestly a little bit too impressive
Right.
from them. So I didn't leave the game. That was our number. That was I think UNJD's like number one thing coming into the game was like holding them down to like less than 21 points,
Yeah.
and they obviously did not do that.
Yeah. And like I said, it wasn't like they were exposing North Texas defensively because I felt like they did a good job. It was just whenever you expect them to make a stop, it just didn't happen. And that was the concerning part to me.
I mean, 21st downs from Abilene Christian.
Yeah.
It's so it wasn't just the big plays, the explosives that were beating you. You give up 21st downs to a team, nine rushing, nine passing, like that is substantial. And from what I took from it, Abilene Christian ran the ball a lot, obviously, but then they had those bubble screens
Yeah.
to death.
Yep.
They were
Yep.
running those things at will. And I was waiting for North Texas to adjust, but then I thought to myself, North Texas doesn't want to adjust because then they'd have to commit more players to the pass and they can't stop the run, and then they don't want to press because then they get beat over the top. Like it's all a domino effect. And if that's what they were living with, then they were okay with that. Um, because ultimately you can give up yards and not give up touchdowns. I think that was the goal ultimately, because
Right.
that was the only way Abilene Christian was going to win is if you gave up some big plays. Um, but yeah, it was a little disheartening to watch Abilene Christian. I think run the ball more than anything.
Right.
The passing game is what it is, but the rushing of Abilene Christian was disheartening to me.
Yeah. And I guess when I say big plays, I don't mean like 70-yard passes or anything like that. I mean like, you give up 9 yards on a play where you haven't been giving it up. So
I mean, here, look, right here. They have a big play category on the stats broadcast here. Abilene Christian had 4 passes of over 20 yards,
yeah.
28, 28, 23, 28. And that was throughout the game, and had 6 rushes of 10 plus yards.
Yeah.
16, 10, 11, 11, 14, 13. So
Yeah.
that in itself categorizes as what 10 plays of either explosive or I guess big gains
Right.
for an offense, and that is substantial. So we're looking at it from that lens. North Texas, if you want to flip it over there, I don't have anything else on the defense.
No.
On the offense side of the ball, while we're talking about big plays, had 9 passes of 20 plus yards, including Chandler Rogers, obviously, to Jamori Macklin to start the game, 80 yards. And then a few others. He hit Landon Sides on that little screen prep
Yep.
pass that went for 39 yards. Good for Landon Sides. What else? Hit Macklin on a 30-yard pass down the middle in the first quarter as well. And then there were 7 rushes of 10 plus yards, including
A
highlighted by
day.
Aday's
Yeah.
42-yard run, where he looked very spry in that one. But I think all the running backs actually looked really good. Johnson, Adaway,
Yeah.
Aday, all 3 of them I thought had really strong games.
No, I completely agree. And not only that, I think although Chandler had that fumble that was recovered by
Yeah.
us, thankfully, I think he used his legs well. I don't think he was trying to force it too much. I do think they went to the QB draw a lot, which was interesting.
Yeah.
But no, I like how the offense played a lot, especially getting Macklin involved. Although they only had 2 receptions, I think it's good to see them throwing in the middle of the field again and us not being worried about it. And then plus Chandler Rogers throw to I forgot who it was to, that back shoulder throw to the end zone that wasn't caught.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was too. I just tweeted it. Did you see my
I
tweet?
didn't see it, but when I saw
Wow.
it live, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like,
What are the odds? We
yeah,
both saw the same thing. I tweeted it out. I said, let's take a moment to recognize
yeah, no, that
this
was a
throw
great
from Chandler
throw.
Rogers. That is a beautiful throw.
It was an amazing throw. So, I liked a lot what I saw from Chandler Rogers again. After last week,
He's incredible.
he's really
He's
good.
very, very good.
He's very
Like,
good.
really good. 20, 30, 36 passing, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns. I told you before we got on here, I was like, he kinda let go a little bit in the second half. Like, he was trying to make some real big throws into some tight windows, and I don't really think he had to do that, but he was kinda just slinging it
Yeah.
at times in the 3rd quarter, and I was like, "You don't really have to do this," but he was trying. He didn't throw an interception, so it's fine, but, I give him some credit there for at least trying to make some of those throws. I ultimately the past game with Rodgers, and this is something we have not been able to say since Mason Fine, I don't think. With Rodgers, the pass game is layered enough to where it's you can attack at all 3 levels.
Yeah.
And that is something that and I like this receiving core. I don't think it's an elite receiving core, but Macklin's good. Macklin's really good. Burns is good. Ward is good. Like you have good players here. But when you have a quarterback that can attack at all 3 levels, I think it just opens up the playbooks like substantially. And
I
so
completely agree.
that is to see him perform at this level again, like second straight game, it's like I don't need to see anything more. Obviously, conference play will decide, how much we think of him, but
Right.
through 2 games, I can't think much more highly of him.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on the 3 levels thing because I don't think in like the Damon Ward pass, I forgot which one it was, center in the end zone, like in the red
Yeah,
zone. I don't think Austin Aune makes that through. Like every time North Texas got in the red zone with Austin Aune, I'm like, okay, like
yeah,
is he
it's an
gonna?
interception.
It's an interception. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like they're gonna have to run the ball and score, or they're not gonna score, or it's gonna be a screen. So again, like you said, I like those intermediate passes are something that's really good. I mean, you can even see it too. Damon Ward, uh, 3 receptions, 41 yards. Blair Contright, 2 receptions, 28 yards. Jordan Smart, 2 for 25, so on and so forth. And they're not all
Mhm.
like little bubble screens or anything like that.
The the run game slash offensive line I thought was interesting. I don't have the stats in front of me. It felt like the offensive line kind of got called on a few holds
Let me
in this
see.
game. I could probably look it up if I'm just not being
I'm on
lazy.
ESPN right now. Let me go
Here,
for you.
I'm on the actual like stats thing. Um, Penalties wise, North Texas had 6 for 73. I'm not gonna go through and pull up how many were from the offense here. I don't know if that's possible. Regardless, a day 13 for 110. Johnson 7 for 39.
Yeah.
Attaway 11 for 31. Rogers, like you said, I thought ran a lot, which is fine, but they need him, so I'd prefer them not
Yeah, and
running.
he wasn't really diving. There was a couple of them where he was kind of diving forward into the
Yeah,
defense.
let's not do that.
Jeopardize the season.
Yeah, because we don't want to go back to the first game or the first game and a half. But yeah, the run game. How do I word this? It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm interested to see it against a good defense because I don't know how dynamic it is. Um, Ultimately, I think this offense will be decided by Chandler Rogers and his arm, and I think
Right.
that's kind of Eric Morris as your head coach. That's kind of what it's going to be, and that's what we knew it was going to be coming into the year. So, that is where I'm at with the offense. It's going to be good, but in a lot of games, it's going to have to outshoot people, right? It's going
Yeah.
to have to win some of these shootouts. I know Navy next week is not the best example for that because that's just such a different game. But like Temple, the following week, you're gonna have to win a shootout. Like
Did they
you go
win
down the
tonight?
list, Memphis, so on and so forth. So what was that?
I was gonna see did Temple win tonight or yesterday? I guess that was or 2 days
No, they
ago.
got ran by Tulsa.
Yeah, Tulsa. That's what it
If you
was.
want to talk about that
Who
real
am
quick,
I
I
thinking
mean,
of? Navy? Maybe it was Navy. I saw.
probably
Uh,
Temple got
the
ran by
Temple got
Tulsa.
ran by. Yeah, I saw. I remember seeing that.
Tulsa was very very
Navy lost to
impressive.
South Florida 44-30 tonight.
Okay,
So
South Florida might just be
built different.
very good.
Yeah.
UAB lost today as well. What else? UTSA had to buy. Memphis was in a close game. Can you look up Memphis' score?
Yep. Riot beat USF too. I was just trying to or East Carolina. Is that who they played?
Rice beat East Carolina.
Yep.
We don't play
Would you
Rice
want me to
this
look up
year.
Memphis?
Memphis.
I
They
thought we
were in a
played East Carolina. Do we not?
no.
Okay. Memphis. Why is it showing me basketball? That would make sense though. They
Boise.
beat Boise State 35-32.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a scary one that we didn't
That's
think
gonna
was
be
going to be super
interesting.
scary.
Yeah. So okay. Well, I don't have. You have anything else on this game before we move forward?
No.
I mean, takeaways wise, we can do our. Let's do our pick on recap real quick before we move forward. So no, I mean, it didn't change anything about how you were viewing this team.
No, I don't think so. I mean, obviously, I would have liked them to hold ACU to less, but we kind of knew that ACU, although ACU got destroyed by that team last week, I don't know if that's like an outlier for them or not.
Yeah. Watching the game, it's like, well, obviously the running back. We talked about the running back, but then it's
Yeah.
like
Like
it didn't feel like a team that was devoid of talent.
no, like the quarterback can play clearly.
Yeah.
So I wasn't
And
like,
Abilene Christian's never like obviously it's not a great FCS team, but like from a talent perspective, they're getting like the drop downs from North Texas and stuff. I mean, heck, no offense to Stone Earl, but Stone Earl was played there for a couple
right.
years, so it's like that's the type of player they're getting. Okay, pick 'em. Abilene Christian. Do you have the stats up?
Yes.
Over under Abilene Christian 16.5 points. That was my line. That was a
I
bad
got it.
line.
I got that one.
Colin got that one. North Texas over under 5.7 yards per carry.
That
You
is under, I believe.
Yes, it is under. Colin said over. I said under.
It was 5.2.
5.2. North Texas sacks 2.5.
I believe you got that. I think they had 2. They had 2. Yep.
Beautiful. I said under. Colin said over. That's another one for Brune.
Needed
All
a
right,
tackle for loss to count as a sack.
now we get the Collins lines.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler Rogers 350 passing yards.
Under for you. You got it.
Oh, he was close though. 321.
Yeah, he was close.
All right, I said under. 1.5 or more. No, over under 1.5 40 plus yard plays.
I got it. I looked that one up.
Uh,
80 from Jamori Macklin and then 42 from Adai. There was
well,
almost a third one.
I said over, so
I thought I said over.
I texted you a screenshot if you want to check it.
Oh,
Oh,
no
Collins is
way.
distraught.
No
Colin's
way.
getting ran.
I swore I said over. That is awful. No.
Oh,
No.
God.
Okay.
All right, over under 2.5 field goals. I don't know if this was this only
Under.
UNT or just for the game.
It was for just Noah. He would have. He had 2 attempts, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways. But
Wow,
he missed one. I just got destroyed. That was
destroyed.
It's a bad look.
What is that? 5-1? 5. Well, and the score.
Oh, I got the score.
Yeah, you got the score.
48-20.
48-20.
Yeah, it was 45-31.
Yeah, you got the score. All right, so 5-2. So that moves us to Brune 11, Collin 7. Wow. Get the trimmers ready.
This is gonna be a tough deficit to
Are
overcome.
you ready to show everybody how long your hair is? Turn around.
It's pretty long. Or I can just take my hat off.
Yeah, take your yeah.
It's really long.
I know we need to see the back.
Right.
We can't.
You see it?
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't really see. It's dark, but you get the picture.
Buzzed Colin is gonna be back.
Just wait.
Can't wait.
Just wait.
Can't wait. Okay.
That hurts. Also, I want to point out UAB kind of gave Tulsa a game. Or Tulane. Sorry, Tulane.
Tulane. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they were up at half.
They did. Okay. Real quick before we continue, I do want to give a shout out to Home Field because we haven't given a shout out to Home Field in a while.
I mean, we do it every podcast, but
no, but we do it at the end, like half-ass. We just throw it in like, no. I want to take some time real quick, and say, check out Home Field, check out the shirts, check out the apparel. We have, a 15% off code for you. In code M Green, you can get. I mean, it's basketball season right here. You see me wearing the basketball shirt, Colin.
That's a good point. That is. I mean, I'm wearing
shirt.
a basketball shirt, but it's not the basketball shirt.
Beautiful shirt. So check out Home Field. I believe 6, 7, 8 shirts somewhere in that range.
A lot of them.
A lot of shirts, a lot of different options there with Scrappy.
It's getting chilly. There's gonna be hoodies in there too.
Yes, hoodies, all that stuff. So check that out. Use code MGreen for 15% off your first order, 10% every subsequent order. We really appreciate it. That's one way you can support us and support home field, and also to get a nice shirt. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. So there you go. There's home field. All right. Well, let's end the podcast looking ahead / looking big picture here.
Okay.
We're gonna talk kind of AAC more on the preview podcast for this week.
Yeah.
But just in general, how are we feeling? Well, it's 2-2 through non-conference. Obviously, the loss to FIU is the disappointing one, but outside of that, I mean, I think things have kind of gone according to plan with Chandler Rogers at quarterback.
I agree. However, I feel like the AAC has shown us that they are more
Good.
stout than I thought they'd be. I mean, UAB giving Tulane a game, I don't think we would have predicted that after the way we saw them before Tulane being so good. Memphis being a lot better than we thought. I mean, yeah, UTSA is down, but Tulsa giving a beating on
Yeah, like who's worse than
like
what we thought going into the year?
maybe Temple, UTSA.
UTSA. I think Navy's about as good as we thought they were going to be. I mean, if we're just talking on our schedule, if we're talking big, everybody, Rice is better than what I thought they were going to be.
Rice
Tulsa is better than what I thought they were going to
USF.
be. USF's better than I thought they were going to be. Like UAB is probably, even though they're 1-4 overall, like I think they were at least competitive in some games. So I thought they were going to be god awful. So, looking at it again, UTSA, Temple, UAB, Navy are 4 games. I'm like, okay, those are winnable games. Tulsa is playing its butt off right now, so I don't know
and it's an away
how that's
game.
going to go. And it's on the road, and it's at the end of the year, so that will have serious implications.
Yeah.
Just gut feeling right now, Colin. Can they get to 4 wins? Can they get to 4-4?
See, that's like there's not, to me, like I look at the schedule, there's not a gimme game now, whereas I thought UAB was, and I thought that like a Tulsa might be something like that, whereas now it's like, okay, they'll probably hopefully beat UAB, but outside of that,
UAB and Temple.
Right. Temple throws the ball a lot. Doesn't seem like very good just looking at their quarterback stats, but they throw a lot, and I don't know, man. It's hard to gauge these teams right now. I mean, I think we'll know more after Temple plays another conference opponent. Like if Tulsa was like when they play UTSA, then I think we'll know better.
Who does Temple play next week?
UTSA next week.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Then we'll get a better idea, because I don't think either of us really know what Tulsa is. Because they only put 22 up on Northern Illinois, then put 48 up on Temple. So like,
yeah. I'm just thinking of ways, like, I don't know how to feel about this North Texas team right now.
That's another thing too, is we don't know.
Weird? Like North Texas could very well go to Navy next week and get 40 dropped on it,
but
and
still
lose
win
like 42
or win.
Yeah, I mean they could win, but I'm just saying they could lose like 42-38 next week, and I wouldn't be shocked. And then we're looking at like, all right, well, damn. But I think if they split the first 2, like let's say lose Navy, beat Temple, I think there is still a path to like you can win 3 more games throughout the rest of the year.
You think they can win 3 more games after Temple?
That's the question. Is I'm trying to figure out with a defense like this, if that's possible.
See, I can't see that.
Yeah,
because you're banking on Tulsa and UAB being wins, and then you're looking at trying to pick up against Memphis, UTSA, SMU, or Tulane.
Banking on, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like you have to, one of those have to be a win.
This is what we said. This is what we said coming into the year, Colin. Was we predicted, and I think both of us said like UTSA as the one, or I think I had UTSA Memphis. But like regardless, we said they're gonna get a win this year that they are not supposed to get.
Right.
And we weren't talking about La Tech.
Correct.
So in theory, I think that's actually still on the table. When you have a quarterback of this caliber, I think this offense can put up 30 plus getting off the bus against the American. Like besides like maybe Temple. But like I'm not scared of SMU. Sorry, I think SMU is really good too. So it's like I'm not.
You meant Tulane, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, what I say?
You said Temple.
I'm sorry. Tulane and SMU, I think, are still the best 2 teams on North Texas schedule.
Yeah.
Everybody else here, Memphis is good, sure, yes, but everybody else here, I think they still have a puncher's chance. And Memphis, UTSA, God, if they can beat UTSA, which does not seem far fetched right now,
Yeah.
they beat UTSA. It's at home too, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure because 2 years ago was the upset win. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm just saying, give me wins over
Here's the thing.
Temple.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
If you split these next 2 games, you have Tulane away, SMU away, and Tulsa away.
I'm counting those 3 as losses right now, honestly. I think Tulsa's way better.
So then if you want them to get 3 more wins, it needs to be UAB, which I'm hoping happens.
UAB.
UTSA, Memphis, or Tulane. So you take Tulane out of it, you have to beat Memphis,
UAB, UTSA,
and Memphis.
That's
not. And UAB's not a gimme right now.
And if that happens, Colin,
if that happens, it's successful. And I think it looks better in hindsight.
Oh, it would be a very successful year.
Well, I think because preseason we thought the teams were worse, right? We're used to the bottom half of the conference being worse. Whereas now it's like, hey, if Tulsa's as good as it looks right now, boom, great.
Yeah.
Memphis being really good, great. UAB kind of actually being something this year, also great.
And if they do that, if they do everything I just said, then it pretty much will align with my 7-5 prediction, except with the loss to FIU instead of a win.
So it would align with my 6-6 prediction.
Yeah, except you had FIU as a win and Memphis as a loss, I think. So
yes,
you just
I had the structure of that.
Regardless,
loss.
Look, most likely outcome for this team right now: 5-7. So 3-5 in conference.
Probably. I don't know. It's just hard to look at because I don't think they're favored in any of these games right now. Still,
they're probably favored against UAB at home. Maybe Temple line will be interesting. It'll depend on if they beat Navy or not.
Yes, Navy's going to be I mean, it's hard, but it's also annoying because it's hard to benchmark a team that runs the triple option.
Yeah, you're not like, how much are we really going to learn? Like, again, North Texas could lose that game 42 to something and then go beat Temple by 20 points. And I wouldn't be surprised. And then I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Then we go to the stretch of death and you're like, can I get one of these games?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to go from there. So it's the American, like you said, it's complicated because A, we've never seen these teams before. And B, they look a lot better than what.
Yeah, we're so used to being able to walk over 3 teams.
What was the Charlotte SMU score? It was 17-3 at halftime, I believe.
Let's see.
It was 34-16. Like, Charlotte's over here only losing by 18 to SMU.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Let's wrap it up. I'm tired. It's midnight. Thank you all for joining us. 28-minute podcast, reaction podcast. We will be back on Thursday to preview Navy and preview the American. Hoping to have a guest on there, but we will keep y'all updated. Thank you all for the support. Check out Home Field Apparel if you haven't already. And yeah, Colin, play the music.
I have no control over that.
Which one was it? Dance Pop?
I thought you had a different one. Wasn't it like the smooth jazz one where did the late night? This is so stupid.
You hear it. I like how it starts coming in slowly. I wish I could fast forward to the beat drop part.
Well, this is an intro music, clearly.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for joining us. We'll be back later in the week. Y'all be safe. Take it easy. It's October, so get your leaf blowers out.
Yeah.
Get your Halloween decorations out.
It was like 90 today in Texas, so
start hoarding candy for the children in your neighborhood. For Colin Mitchell, I'm Matthew Brune. We will talk to y'all later.